I assume you want me to make cheesy shift jokes today, like, I don't know, if you want this lens, just either shift or get off the pod, or is this lens the shift, or is it dog shift? Shift happens, I don't know.
That was great.
Welcome back, DPReview TV viewers. It is Chris Niccolls here. We got a fun lens to play with. We've got the Laowa Sea Dreamer 20mm shift lens. This is for full frame, and this is a cool lens. I mean, we already did play with the 15mm. You should check that video out, link in the description below. And we actually talk a little bit more about how shift lenses actually work in that video. Here we're just largely going to review this lens, but I would argue that 20mm is a little bit more of an everyday usable focal length than 15mm, so I'm excited to play with it. Now, I always enjoy reviewing Laowa lenses because they're fun to explore. They've got little quirks and strange characteristics that you kind of want to discover and learn to navigate and work with. But this is an interesting lens today. We're going to focus on straightening some buildings and doing some architectural work. So just an interesting side note here, Laowa sent us this lens in Nikon F mount, and I figured, okay, I could use a Z7 with an FTZ adapter, but you know what, I haven't used a DSLR in a long time. It'd be fun to just get back to it. Bit of a learning curve, to be honest, because I haven't used one in a while. Damn, I like mirrorless. We got a D850 here. Big thanks to the camera store for lending us to us today, and it's got a lot of megapixels. It'll be a good way to test this lens. So the Laowa 20mm feels a lot like the 15mm that I played with before. Very solidly built, like all metal construction. I like that the aperture ring has very subtle click stops. I can tell just through the feeling of my fingers when I've reached one without having to take my eye away from the viewfinder, because of course there is no electrical connection to tell me what aperture I'm using. Otherwise, the shift mechanism is a lot like the 15mm, very smooth, it locks positively, easy to adjust. So overall, it's really nice ergonomics. All right, let's talk about flare, because we've chosen a situation where I'm super backlit, as you can probably see on the video, and it's a good test for this lens shooting into the sun. So first thing I'm going to say is this, Laowa usually have very good coatings, and I would agree that it's the same on this 20mm lens. I'm not seeing a lot of loss of contrast or washed out areas, but it is a complicated lens optical formula, and we're getting a lot of ghosting, and you can see it here quite clearly, lots of it. Another thing you're going to notice here, look at this shot at f4 wide open completely. You actually get this strange halo reflection when shooting towards the sun. It's quite distracting, quite apparent. Now, it does go away if you stop down even a little bit, just half a stop and it was largely gone, but keep that in mind on this lens shooting towards the sun. It's got a lot of stuff going on, and I'd probably try to avoid it in most situations. So behind me here is a classic example. I've got a very tall building. I'm on level ground, and so, you know, the perspective, everything's converging away to the top, and I want to straighten those lines out. So that's where a shift lens really becomes handy. Now, I haven't shifted maximum. I'm about 7mm out of a maximum of 10mm of shift, and I'm getting nice straight lines on that building, as you can see here. The only thing I want to point out is even at 7mm, with the hood in the right position, I can see the top of the hood in the frame. So I'm either going to have to take it off completely or just rotate it 90 degrees, and then that basically disappears. Okay, I know this isn't architecture. This is more like an artsy shot. I like the yellow and the blue cord, the oil patch, the triangle, the light. So I wanted to shoot it. But although it's not architecture, this is actually a good example of where a shift lens can still be very useful. See, my first shot, I just shot it straight. And because the oil patch is closer to me, it's a little bit larger. The 302 is a little bit further away. So I actually just shifted the lens, and I can make the 302 more prominent and reduce the size of the oil patch and just change the overall balance. So even in situations like that, it's a subtle change, but it can be a good difference. This is a bit off topic, but you know, you always have those things where it's that nagging feeling like I forgot to do something today, right? Like it's, oh, I thought about it earlier, and now it's escaping me and it's driving me crazy. Well, I'll help you guys out. That thought was, oh, I was going to subscribe to the channel today, because even though I love the content, I still haven't subscribed, and that's really bad of me, and so I'm going to fix that right now. So do it right now before you forget. Just click that button. All right, let's talk about Bokeh, and I'm going to go through my spiel quick because I feel like I've said it a billion times here. Bokeh is your longitudinal chromatic aberration. This is where you get purple and green fringing in the out of focus areas. It's very hard to remove in post, and so if you have it, it's a bad thing. Luckily here on the Laowa 20mm, we really don't have any Bokeh problems, which is great. One issue we do have, though, not really an issue, but the sunstars on this lens, you know, which can be really nice in a landscape lens, Not very dramatic here. I mean, kind of mushy looking. You get them at f11 fairly dramatically, but they still have kind of a blurry look to them. And the problem is you're getting softness as you start shooting those apertures. And the other major issue here is we're still getting that strong ghosting. So shooting towards the sun to get those sunstars, you always get this trail of ghosts. It's quite dramatic. So honestly, this is not a lens I like to shoot at the sun. And so unfortunately, the sunstars, not a big selling feature here. Now, one thing I've been pleasantly surprised by is actually how close focusing the Laowa 20mm is, and you can do some interesting close-up shots. So the minimum focusing distance is 0.25 meters, 250 millimeters, which if I figure out some math, are okay. A Niccolls Noct is about 150 millimeters tall, approximately, and a third of a Noct would then be 50 millimeters. So this is basically the close focusing distance equivalent to a Noct in 2/3 distance.
Congratulations, you managed to make it even more confusing.
There we go. So close-up focusing, a Noct in 2/3 long. All right, let's take a moment to talk about the bokeh on this lens. Now I know bokeh and shallow depth of field aren't something we're really looking for on a 20mm, but it's still a factor. You can see here with specular highlights, they're pretty rough, right? Big soap bubbles, onion rings, very distracting. And I would say that more importantly for a lens like this that's wide, it does translate into the out of focus transitions. They can sometimes look a little bit nervous and a little bit busy. So not my favorite out of focus kind of characteristic on a lens. Luckily, this lens I'm gonna probably shoot stop down most of the time, try to get expansive depth of field and make that a non-issue for the most part. So let's talk about sharpness next. And when we reviewed the Laowa 15mm shift lens, as I recall, it wasn't a particularly sharp lens, but it was basically the same sharpness from the center to the corners. It was even across the whole frame. A little bit different here on the 20mm. So what I'm gonna say here is this. The centers actually look sharper, even wide open at f4. Looking at the centers here, you can see good detail. But if we go to the corners, you can see that they actually start to soften up quite a bit. I would say this lens tends to have less even sharpness from center to corner, and I definitely would not shoot this lens wide open very often. Stop down to f8, that's where I prefer to shoot this lens, but it limits the apertures that I really want to manipulate here on this lens. So as usual, Laowa, lots of fun with an interesting feature on a budget price. So hopefully this video helps you guys decide if it's a good choice for you. Leave your comments below, let us know what you think. Please do subscribe to the channel, we'd appreciate that. We do have a sample gallery on this lens. Check that out on DPReview.com. Link in the description below. Otherwise, as always, thank you for joining us on this lovely day. We shall see you all very soon.